All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Breaking the Block. I have two lovely co hosts with me, and I will let them introduce themselves before we get into whatever it is that we're going to get into today. So, whoever.
Hello, lovelies. I am Mama Maggie Ward, independent author, stroke survivor, migraine overcomer. I have lots of books. Yeah, the booky things. So yes, please check out my books. And finished All the Words October. So that is done. I got the mid-tier word count goal. I because of the things and the internet. I did not get the stream count goal, but I tried. And so now I'm starting the November 100, which is 100 streams in 1 hour streams in November. So I'm planning on spending 100 hours writing in November. I got the first 2 hours done yesterday and then watched a hockey game, watched a football game, watched the end of the World Series. And yeah, I'm here today. All the things.
All the things, all the time.
All right. Hello everyone. My name is Stephanie. I write primarily small town romances. I just finished my 8th book, which was a Christmas super short story. I half-heartedly participated in All the Words October, knowing that I would not be able to write the top tier, but I did get like just under 70,000 words written for the whole month. So yay me. My plans going for November is to finish a rough draft. And my plan was to do daily video uploads. But if you look at my channel, there was none yesterday. So I don't think that's going to work. Like I might do like every other day or like every couple of days or whenever my video is long enough. So we'll see. And I'm here for, I think this is the first time on this stream channel.
Yeah, it is the first time. So everybody's links should be in the description box below. So make sure to check out everybody's websites and books and all of that good stuff. And yes, congrats on the words. We've got a Rach and a Cat Paw and a Margaret. I'm glad you have your power back as well. We've got an Eva. And yes, congrats on the words.
Hey, remember, if you've got more words at the end than you did at the beginning, you have won.
Exactly. Every word counts. Monday through Friday, every day, still possible to hit that goal. Exactly. She's glad to see Steph here, and Sam, and Maggie. Hey, and Laura, good morning. In the drive-through on the way to work. Okay. Yes, definitely drive safe and eat safe while you're driving. I do apologize for the snoring, but Kona is having one of her needy days, so she is probably laying back there with her eyes wide open, wide awake, but acting like she's snoring. Laura's getting some pancakes. Awesome. All right. Do either one of you have any questions or writer's block type things that you want to talk about? No? Okay. We'll get into the questions. Da, 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 da. All right. So we had this pop in. So how do you get over the fear of failing or the fear of being too popular? Or is there something that you fear each time you sit down to write or edit or hit that publish button?
I just do. I'm an idiot. Don't pay attention to me. I have day damage from the stroke. So yeah, no. Writing is just the thing that I did to retrain myself to use language, and it became this habit. And the habit became almost a compulsion, and now I do it almost every day. And so and as far as like the fear of failing or the, the fear of being popular, I don't think I would ever have that. But fear of failure, yeah. And I've had book launches where I still I have 2 books that I sold 1 copy of each book total. And it's just, but it's I don't write for that author life. I for years I watched authors that I greatly admired, and I watched them struggling. Like famous authors and stuff like that. When you see like Clive Cussler, rest his soul. I mean, the man was still having to get out. I mean, in his 80s, still having to get out and hustle for book signings and media events and running his own Twitter group. And it's and you think, aren't people supposed to, aren't they supposed to have people for this? And like Brandon Sanderson, his books are screamingly popular. But he still has all of these other writer things, like the writer things. You see him, like, the thing that I noticed most is like the man is never still, like, and he'll be sitting there, and I've watched him during one of his podcast interviews. He was talking with, what was the guy's name? Some guy he was talking with, and the whole time he was sitting there talking with him, he was just signing copies of his book.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
And just and like so, I mean, it was like he was doing like 10 a minute, flipping them open, signing them, and sliding them into a pile. And then somebody would walk over, pick up the pile, carry it away, put another pile on this side. And it's like that, if that's what being popular is, I mean, yeah, I would love some of that brand sand money, but if it was to the point that, you like literally could not just sit down and enjoy an interview with somebody because you've got things to do, where does your life end? And we see so many authors behaving badly, authors who get doxxed, authors who get mad and don't. If you're an indie author, please, 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 for the love of all that is holy, if you get a bad review, accept it and move on, because the moment you engage, you have painted a bullseye on your nose, and the netizens will come for you. We have all seen that, and it's like to have to constantly be on guard on, and anything you say could be possibly taken out of context or something like that. Yeah, that is my fear for being popular. That would be the fear, and it's, but it's the thing I fear every time I sit down to write or edit. The thing I fear is that I'm not going to finish editing all of the stuff I word vomited out for the first 6 years I was writing, where I did all writing, no editing. Blech.
I would have to say that's my greatest fear too, because as y'all see, every single time I talk about my projects, the number grows. And that is not by design. I don't want to do that, because I want to be able to finish all of those projects, because I love those characters and I love the story, and I think the story would make an impact somehow, and even if it's just taking the reader to another world. But my fear is that, and this is the imposter syndrome in me, this is the imp, is that people are just placating me, saying that it's okay, that it's good, or that they're buying my books just to put on the shelf because they don't like reading them anyway. That would be my fear all the time, and that is my fear all the time. And it's not necessarily ego, it's just if somebody doesn't tell me, I can't get better. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing. Hopefully that has kind of worked its way out. I don't know why there would be more static today because I haven't moved my mic or anything. So let me know if there's still a lot of static and I will try to finagle something around. I don't know.
I can't hear the static. I know. So
Okay.
I can't hear it either. So back to what Maggie was saying, I think I'm horrible with memory this morning. When I first published my very first book, I wrote it and it was really cathartic for me because it was a retelling of my crappy upbringing, abusive childhood, and all that. So I wrote it, and then I had like this 2 week panic where I was like, oh my gosh, people I know in my community where I live know I wrote the book. Like, why did I open my mouth and tell people I wrote a book? The people I know were going to read it. Like, I wasn't ashamed or embarrassed about my story. I was like, people are going to read what I wrote and like judge how I wrote it or like the words I. It was this weird like 2 week time period, and then I was like, all right, well, people are going to read it, and then I just forced myself to get over it, and I'd like to say that my writing has improved over time. I don't know if it has or not. My fear of people reading my work, has it improved or not? I don't know. I'm still scared every time I push publish because there's always like a mistake or a typo or an error that I'm always catching, even like months later. And even from that very first book, like just recently had to go in and like update my about the book stuff on Amazon because there was typing errors in it and typing errors on the back of the book, which is crazy because I've like seen it a million times. Other people have read it, and then just you randomly open up the book and on a random page on a random Tuesday, and you see a typo. So yeah, I'm scared of like people are going to judge my book. I'm scared there's going to be an error. I'm scared there's going to be like formatting issues, or people are not going to like the book, or think it's too silly, or think there's not enough sex on the page, or think that there should be more backstory or something along any of those things. But I feel like just write the story you want to write because someone out there is going to want to read it. That's kind of what it boils down to, I think.
100%.
Definitely.
Yeah. And the best thing about being indie author as well, it once like I've got like 2 big boxes of printed books that are waiting to be shipped out. But with our e-copies, 72 hours and the mistake is gone.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. And it's like I have a friend who went through an indie pub house, and I also struggled with this of issues with things getting, going through a publishing house means getting anything fixed or changed, if you can get them fixed, is like almost impossible. I have an 8th edition Anne McCaffrey that has typos and in it.
Yep.
And it's like, so, it's, there used to be, especially before the pandy, there used to be this, and still kind of now, but not so much. There was this huge bias against indie authors, that they weren't good enough to get agents. They weren't good enough to go through. And, we were all sold the great author dream. If you can't write the great American breakout author book and become that New York Times top-selling author, then you're not a real author. And if you didn't go to school and get a master's degree in writing, you're not a real author. And then there was the whole Simon & Schuster lawsuit, found out that most printed books don't sell 100 copies nationwide through the big trad pub houses. New York Times and all these literary awards that had always been held up to us as these great esteemed things for authors, you can buy your spot on the New York Times bestseller list. You can buy a Pulitzer. You can buy a Howard Award. You can throw the money at it for the nomination. And it's like so the gap between the indie authors and the money-backed trad pub authors just gets bigger.
Mhm.
But the thing we indie authors have is, trad authors, a year, 2 years. Clive Cussler admitted in one of his groups when he was alive that the only reason he got 4 books out a year is because he has four co-writers. And he calls them co-writers and not ghostwriters. He puts their names on the book. And when he passed away, he had left drafts for several more books in each of his series. He'd already had them plotted out, character drafts, everything done, and handed them over to his co-writers, left them to him in the wills, left a thing in his wills that he did not want an AI writing his, because now they are working, now the bias is against AI writers and writers who use heavy AI. Like, you can literally put a scene in and tell ChatGPT, write my dialogue for this scene.
Mhm.
And it will do it.
Yeah.
And so it's very interesting, where we're at right now in authordom is very, very interesting. Yeah. This is the other thing with failure.
No.
No one notices. No one cares. Failure is the thing that pokes us
Yeah.
in the back of our little lizard brain.
Yeah.
It's,
Well,
Go
ahead.
It's the same biological response to failing as when you fail at a goal, your little lizard brain in the back releases the same chemicals as if you failed in a hunt and now you're going to starve.
Yeah.
And that's why failure is traumatic.
And we, as indie authors, get to set what we think is success and failure for ourselves. We can even set it for each book. We can set it for each goal. So, and I think that's the reason why there are so many of us that talk about setting manageable goals and giving ourselves grace, is because it's based in a fear of failure. So yeah, just roll with it. Write what you want to write when you want to write it, and it's fine. Hit that publish button. You wrote that story for yourself. Sometimes it's not writer's block. It's something is not right, and we need to press pause and think about this. Exactly.
Yeah, if you don't feel happy with the story, then maybe it's something with the story. Yeah. But then there's time, find your writer friends. Say, go, do you look at this? And then sometimes you just have to look at something and go, okay, I need to put this away for a while because, yeah. Eventually you have to stop tweaking things. And personally, that's my hardest problem. It's like,
yeah. I learned with I'm No Hero after reading 250,000 words 20 different times, that I need to just set things down after 5 times, period. I don't care. And just move on. Because, no. I would drive myself crazy. I drove myself crazy during I'm No Hero edits. Rach says, my fears have changed. I used to feel failure. Now I fear not getting all of my stories out before I run out of time. Exactly.
Same.
With all the mics, but whatever you did there muffled the sound. Okay. I'll, probably on Monday stream, I'll play around with some settings and stuff. Mostly for being stressed when I could be calm instead. Yeah. Stress is a killer of creativity, too. Margaret says, I don't think I'm hurt by the lack of sales and popularity, but then I get these backwashes of why do I do this pretty regularly, so maybe it creeps up. Understandable. Imposter syndrome.
About 25,000 words into every single draft. I'm like, this is dumb. I don't like this. I should just quit. I'm done. But
Yeah.
then, I continue, obviously I continue on after that, but it's usually about that point in every single draft I've ever written.
Yeah. It's around that point, around the murky middle, that I get that too. And then the moment that I hit the published kind of button and Ingram Spark comes back to me like, this isn't formatted right. And I'm like, why do I do this?
I tend to have that. I just upload to Amazon, but every single time they would have a problem with cover size or dimensions, or one random page would be like a little bit in the margin. Somehow this last book I didn't have any issues, but then I had to correct it anyway because there's typos. So there's always something.
Yeah.
Always something.
There is. Yeah. None of us are perfect. And if you try to be perfect, then you'll never get anything done.
Exactly.
So Laura has this question. I found a new critique partner through a class. Any advice on what to communicate with her before we dive in? Not to be intimidated by your writing because, oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah. Just be honest with her. Be honest with her what you need. And if you just like when I sent my stuff out to my betas, when I sent Were Cow and Wolf out to the betas, I was like, just read the story, let me know what you like. And there were points that are like, okay, this is a little confusing here, this is a little muddled here. Oh my god, I love this part so much. Just don't. I'm not looking for someone to editing. Thank you, Rachel, for like typo busting on me, but yeah, don't do that. I will do that. Don't worry about it, honey. I love you. But yeah, no, just set like what you feel you need to know. Just say, and if you don't know, be honest. Say, I don't know what I need to finish fixing this story. So just go into it, and that's the main thing, is be completely honest. The other thing is having critique partners is great. Having people to do your beta reading, your alpha reading, stuff like that is wonderful. Editor brain does kick in a lot. I love you, Rachel. Don't be afraid. Just, to be honest, and don't be afraid to say, okay, this isn't exactly the feedback I was looking for.
If you do have an expectation, make sure that you communicate that properly, because there have been a couple of times where I've had critique partners or beta readers who focus on what they want from me instead of what I need from them. So like, they don't think that their character dialogue is very good. Me, I have no fears about my character dialogue, and all of their feedback was on my character dialogue, and I'm like, I need to know if you can see this setting. I need to know if there's enough description here. I need to know if the characters do stand out. That's great. You can tell the difference between them without even dialogue type kind of thing. But I really need to know if this scene hits the points that I want it to hit. If it draws that emotion out of you, kind of thing. So yeah, just communication.
Yeah, I think like just before you guys even start reading each other's work, whatnot, like just have parameters and guidelines of what you're expecting from each other going forward, so neither one of you are disappointed or
Yeah. And if this is like their first critique partnership, then maybe fill each other out. Just give each other a chapter and give the feedback that you would give, and see if that's what you need from each other or if you need something else, and then just go from there and build it chapter by chapter, your critique partnership. That'd be another way, I think. That's just me though. Okay. I hope that helped. Anyway. Let's see. Eva says, why do you do it, Margaret, knowing that answer can guide you in a path toward the goal? Exactly. Theory. If he's never still, he has a demon poking him. He explains a lot. No. Hey, Jody Jean. I'm scared of running out of time, too. My health is just getting better, but the sense of urgency is overwhelming me and my thoughts these days. I understand. Expectations. Yes. Mel, hello.
Hi, Mel.
Eva says for Laura, expectations are what to communicate. Yeah. Margaret says that she used to be more sure of the answer, not so much anymore. Every now and then you just got to reevaluate. I mean, life changes, you change, your situations change. So if your why on why you write changes, that's fine too. I mean, we're human. So reevaluation every 3 years recommended. No, just whenever.
Every 3 days. Every 3 minutes.
Every 3 pages.
Yeah, everyone's like, put out your 5-year plan. I found a notebook the other day that had a 5-year plan from the first year I did hold my coffee. And I was like, well, this is going in the fireplace.
That's so funny. I still have it. It's a 5-year planner, and it ended this year, I believe. And at the beginning of the whole 5-year planner, it was like just monthly spreads. I was like, I'm gonna put out a perfectly scheduled publisher plan of all my books. And like in 2023, 2024, I was like Christmas novel and like adventure novel and like, and I wrote it down in pen and yeah, I did not follow it because the first year I wrote like 3 books, but it was like in the end of 2020, beginning of 2021. So we weren't doing we stayed at home all the time. We didn't go anywhere. And then, as time went on and kids got older and whatnot, and I was like, I cannot keep up. I envy those people that can write a book every 2 months and put it out. That's great. More power to you. The fact that you have stocks of stories that you've written, so you're publishing a lot of books. I'm not calling out anyone. There's people that publish a lot of books, not just you, Maggie. Okay. Okay.
Like I said, I worked on it for 6 years, and now I'm paying the price because I've spent the last 5 years doing nothing but editing, and it sucks.
There's other readers, and there's other writers, and there's other self-published writers that I've read books, and they write a book every 2 to 3 months consistently, which I know those are great.
To me.
That's great.
I'm happy for them. They're amazing, but
how much of a life outside of sitting at your keyboard for 10 hours a day do you have? And yeah, I know you can dictate and all that stuff, but I'm still that's a lot of work. Now I was like, oh, I can do that because I did it for the first year and a half. I was writing a book every quarter, and that's not going to work for me. That didn't work for me going forward. So you can plan all you want, but doesn't mean it's going to stick to that plan.
And everybody's got different rates. I have a friend in the UK. She writes 200 to 500 pristine words a week. That's it. It took her 20 years to write her Gothic romance. And it's amazing. I'm not a Gothic romance fan, but it is a beautiful, beautiful book. And everybody's like, yay, when's the next one out? And she's like, let's see, I'm 60 now, so I'll be.
Oh gosh. Oh no. Pristine is not always good. Hence, my husband wants to keep me pristine. No. But anyway.
That's so funny.
God. Y'all, I've had 2 cups of coffee to get rid of this headache, so I apologize. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, just like in fiction, whenever the characters say a plan out loud, it's written on the page, expect it not to work. So whenever you let your plan be known, expect to change it.
Yes.
It's like that meme. Look at the plan. We have made the plan. We are so good at planning. The planning. Now the doing of the planning. Forget the plan.
Yeah.
Right?
Eva says, I've always written because it's fun and I'm good at it. Exactly. I started doing content creation as accountability for what I already want to do. I like analytics, but low views and engagement make me see how few of my friends check in with me outside of their own spaces more than bum me out about popularity or online success. Running out of time is my biggest fear. Yeah. So I started doing channels and niches without friends. Interesting. Cat Paul says, I don't know. The more time I put in, the more I fear it will sink like a stone. But this last week's, the block has nothing to do with the writing, but with life and other worries. Life? Life be lifing. Fear of failure is not something I let bug me, but that probably stems from my childhood and my emotionally abusive parents. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about being constantly told that you're a failure that just it becomes water off a duck's back.
Kind of like, oh yeah, you told me you can't watch me type thing.
Yeah, exactly. We all run out of time. That comes from to trust, Sam. To me, these are people reliable. Yeah. Laura says, I've had quite a few people tell me to my face they are just buying tiny shivers to support me and will never read it because they don't like horror. It's bittersweet.
I bought it and I read it because the tooth fairy. Yeah. The food ones are the attic ones, the ones that those. I don't have an attic in my house. I'm so happy now.
Fear unchecked. Like, we don't have a basement, and it's like fear unchecked. I don't have to go down there whenever I hear a noise and wonder if I'm going to get eaten or not. Cool.
I will never live in a house that has a basement. Ever again. I lived in a house with a basement. My parents had a house in Portland, and it used to be like a farmhouse back in the 1800s. And so the basement was not a finished basement. It was a basement that had like hard packed dirt floor, and like the walls were halfway wood, and then it was a crawl space underneath. Freaked me out. We found like random animals like in the washing machine when we had to go do laundry. I was like, you know what? Never again. I'm walking to the laundromat. See you all later.
So the only problem that I have with basements, well, honestly, it's any stairs. So stairs that have an open back, they're not closed in. I hate those. Because in my brain, somebody's going to reach through those stairs and grab my ankles, and I'm going to go falling down the stairs. I hate that. And every single basement that I have had the awesomeness of living with has had open stairs. And just, can't do it. I can't. Maggie says, I fear the kind of success popularity that will ruin having a private life. Yeah. There is static bag still here. You okay? It's manageable. Okay. And it might be a YouTube thing. I'm hoping it's a YouTube thing and not my equipment or whatever. Eva says, yeah, author peers aren't our target audience for our books most of the time. It's not like robots underwater. That's good. But nano content, writing content, etc., kind of target audience with our peers, friends. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Typo Tuesday. We all gather and laugh about the typos. Yep. There's people in our lives that will always seek out the flaws. Let's not be that for ourselves unless we're editing. Yeah. Try. They're inevitable. Just think of them as mosquitoes, and that's a good way to kind of think about it. Any problem that you have is gold for later you. So you can make dinosaurs and destroy the earth.
Yep.
Subset of the Great American Dream scam, Maggie, as far as I'm concerned. Mel says, I always fear people might not like the characters I love to create, or worse, they misunderstand who they are or what the message is in the story. No.
Well, the thing is, Mel, there are people that everybody looks at the world through their own experience goggles.
Mhm.
So there's two kinds of people that are going to be offended. One is the people who, because of their own baggage, they see everything's in a tinted or tainted way. Others are people that are just looking to be a Karen.
Yep.
Go away, Karen.
Yeah.
You know, they're looking for something to be offended by. And those people are usually the ones that are the loudest and deserve to be the most ignored.
No. And I don't think you have to fear people not liking your characters except for like one or two. Because I know your characters. And yeah, they're great. People are going to fall in love with them. A lot of people might not fall in love with the same that I've fallen in love with, but, you know, nobody's perfect. Margaret says, I made pumpkin spice scones yesterday. Ooh. I'm having much more success celebrating with participating trophies in my own small wins than the ones I have no control over. Exactly. If you focus on the ones like sales, which is out of your control, or subscriptions, or followers, or whatever, then yeah, you're going to stress yourself out, and it's just not worth it. Just do what you can and go. I'd hire ghostwriters and co-writers if I could. I don't care if it makes people mad, though. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you do your thing. We've interviewed a couple of those legacy authors who have continued to work in the big names on Blaze. It's interesting indeed. It's going to sound good. I see failure as changing my mind more than as losing a competition. It's something to learn from. Exactly. Everybody wants to scones.
Everybody wants to scones.
Can't control the actions of others, so I don't really consider failure anything tied to the actions of others' selves. Yeah, where's the guillotine emoji for overreacting?
Yeah, the lizard brain, unfortunately, makes everything difficult. And as much as we like to believe that we are all evolved, mature, intelligent people as humans, you can see the times when lizard brain creeps up and starts taking over again. And, you know, every day the movie Idiocity becomes more and more reality.
I finally just watched that like a couple months ago.
Did you finally watch it?
I finally watched it because you guys were talking about it a couple of times on stream and some other like live streams, and then my husband Jesse had watched it. He's like, "You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it." I was like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that is." And the fact that the directors were like, "What type of shoe wear do we need to put them in for the future?" That's so done that no one's gonna wear it, and it ends up being Crocs. Like, are you kidding me?
And that movie made Crocs. That movie literally made Crocs into a brand. And now you can go to the Crocs store and buy little Crocs and little things to go on your Crocs to decorate them in any way you want.
So dumb, but like I watched the whole, like halfway through, I'm like, I cannot believe. But I also spent like 2 days of my insomniac-filled days of like not sleeping. I spent 2 days watching the entire series of Sharknado videos. So you know, I spent my time wisely.
Research. It's all research. No. fortunate enough not to depend on sales and like sales. I like to earn enough to make change as the new American dream. Yeah. Thank you, James, and welcome. Running into the farm gate of formatting. Masochistic side. Yeah, a little bit. Margaret says Smashwords has sent me emails for years, every few minutes, saying one of the books needs reformatting to be in premium catalog. Pretty sure it's because I mentioned please review page with Amazon as an option. Yeah, editor Breen. For Laura from Margaret, what I think is working well, what I think needs attention, and I might know what I'm not even seeing. I might know what I'm not even
Yeah, let me know what I'm not
Let me
even
know
seeing.
what I'm even seeing. Can I tell my mom that?
It's all right.
Use the force to say, this is not the feedback I was looking for.
Yeah. Always remember that, like a lot of really popular books got rejected over and 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 over again. The author who shall not be named is famous for the number of rejections the series got, but the series is still beloved.
Yeah.
It is still popular.
Yeah.
You can go to the Hallmark store and get Christmas ornaments in all the house colors.
Oh, goodness. Definitely let them know what kind of feedback you're looking for. I love both types of feedback and love both, but like Maggie said, she doesn't need all the feedback, just likes, dislikes, problematic scenes, and confusions. Love doing both. Typo Queen all aboard. Yep. I like keeping those rosy dream worksheets. Maggie, not sure what I'll do with them eventually. Rach says, I know I'm collaborating with someone and we're really into the writing. The drafting we can get done quick, but it's the editing and revisions that take me time. Yeah. Sits at keyboard 10 hours without producing books. I feel that. I feel that so hard. Why does it seem so easy at the beginning? We're children at the beginning of our publishing.
When you're starting a book, it's like a new it's like you're falling into a new relationship. It's all fluffy and giggly inside and tingly, and it feels good. And then reality hits, and he puts his socks beside the hamper instead of in the hamper. And then suddenly you're 25 years later, and the socks are still beside the hamper instead of in the hamper. But you still love them.
And that is when you do, you read some psychology books and you secretly train them not to do that.
Everything not trained except the socks.
So Dad never did this, but my brother did. And Mom, she got so tired of it one time that she took his socks and started putting them under his pillow. Yeah. Took Danny a little while. But that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
So right now, my husband has this weird thing where we have these energy drink packets. They're like Crystal Light type packets with like caffeine in them. He'll like cut them open and he'll leave them on the counter, and right behind it's a garbage can. And by the morning, there's like 3 or 4. The kids have been like, Mom, look at this, look at this. So now I've just been dropping them in front of the front door. There's like 5 there. I'm waiting, see how long. I just moved them, and I stand in front of our front door is here, and then right here is the bedroom door. So and he's sitting there on the bed, and he watches me drop them on the floor. Whatever. Eventually he'll move them. Or not. Maybe we'll just like get a nest of them, whatever. I'm like, I'm over it. Because like I get after the kids about picking at their mess and like not doing this and not doing that, and they're like, "But mom, dad," I'm like, "Okay, fine. I no longer do his laundry because he'll just like pile it up and then in random spots around the house, and I'm like, you know what? All the kids know where to put the laundry. You can do your laundry too. So
Yep.
Yeah.
passive aggressive much, I don't care.
It's the thing
It's
is
fine.
when you're it's the same endorphin high working on a project. Then when you get to the editing of the project, you fall out of love with the project. And when the formatting comes, you're like, why didn't I send this off to the adoption agency? And then the publishing part comes and you're like, oh, I love you again.
Yep.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yep.
It's blame lizard brain.
The plan lasts up until the battle starts. Exactly.
Yep.
See that Murphy has arrived to enforce his law. I see. Don't bring Murphy's law into this. I have to go to Murphy next week, so the law is going to follow me around.
When we used to travel around, we were like, okay, we're getting ready to like travel more than 600 miles from our location. My lovely boy's favorite thing was like, great, what's the worst thing that can happen? And I said, if we get another flat tire on this trip, it's all your fault. And every single time there'd be a flat tire or like traffic or something easily slowing us down. Like, listen, no more talking.
Yep. Do not invoke it. Eva says, I buy many of y'all's books to support and not read. My money is easy to give compared to my time. I haven't read many books this year at all. Same. Laura's writing is something that actually makes me have shivers. Like it makes me very.
Yeah, Laura's got a fear for everyone and for everyone a fear.
Yep. Margaret asks, have you heard the song The Missing Stair? It's so good. About the metaphor of a missing stair on the way to...
That would just be a little creepy.
Nope. Basement is a walkout with closed-in carpeted stairs. Nice. Cat Paw says, I grew up with basements, terrified of spiders, and not too keen on flooding either. Yeah. Ours never flooded. Well, I mean, I grew up in the mountains, so if a basement flooded, then your driveway wasn't properly cut. So
I spent time in Portland, but I spent the first 12 years of my life on Oregon coast, and it flooded every spring. And now that I think about it, no one had basements. It was always above the ground garages or sheds. No basements on the Oregon coast.
Yeah.
I grew up in Southeast Texas.
Oh, okay.
And nobody has basements down there because the water level is like 4 feet down.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And if you have a basement, you have to have a constantly running sump pump to keep the water out of the basement. And it's like around if you're within like 2 hours of Houston, you are not going to find basements because the water table is too high. Even during the drought years, there were some homeowners that we had a really bad drought back in the 80s, and there were home developers that started building homes with basements. And yeah, the once we started getting rain again, first tropical storm come through, all the basements flooded, the houses started sinking and wobbling. Yeah. So
now that you pointed it out, Maggie, yeah, there's no basements around here. I'm in Texas, so like there's no basements at all anywhere.
Yeah, which is bad because it's where you're at right now. That is Tornado Alley. They get regular tornadoes, and yeah, there's no basements for a reason.
It's been a year and so far nothing. No horrible weather like that so far. At least where I'm at.
Flamethrowers. Flamethrowers are your friends.
Yes.
Ignore the
What
trolls.
you do? You get jumping spiders, and you make friends with the jumping spiders, and you let them kill all the other spiders.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Orb weavers around here too. Can't
We have orb weavers in South Texas, and I used to catch grasshoppers and feed the orb weavers.
Yeah, I'll let 3 build around the house because I'm like, here, Here's all the stink bugs. Take them. Don't let them in the house. Kefal asks, how do you celebrate your own small wins? I need inspiration. I don't.
I mean,
I'm
I don't
bad
really
at this.
celebrate small wins, but I've seen like a plethora of like other people online doing it. Like sometimes people like get a favorite cake they like, or sometimes people get like trinkets of things that they like, and then they like open it up when they're done with the book or when they gotten through chapter one or something. I don't know, just think of something that you like or appreciate and then use that for your small win. It could be as simple as a
This
copy.
is my win. Holding the book and patting the book and smelling the book. No, my favorite thing to do is like I have a pile of posties right now. These are my posties. I have finished this part of the project. This is so satisfying.
No.
My like when I'm done with the book, I'll just be like, "Hey babe, I finished another book I published last night." It's like, cool. That's about it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like order a special. I don't do anything out of the ordinary. And then I'll order some books, knowing that like something will be wrong because it's Amazon. Amazon always like prints the spine a little off. For the most part, it's okay. It's enough to be like, it's fine. But then the only time I ever catch typos on my books is when I order physical copies of my books. It seems like the only time.
See,
So
that's why I have I do the whole whip for draft book so that I can actually have a physical. I have this set up. I did a video on this set up on my back end so I can actually print a copy of the book to edit a print copy without actually having to create its own thing.
okay.
Whip Draft 4 is actually the name of the book, but it's a book that will never go live. It will never be published. I just change the cover and change the interior and then get a proof copy because this is $5 to $6 versus going to a print shop can be upwards of $30.
Yeah.
That's true.
So every now and then, like whenever I finish the drafts of the My Husband Wants series, my hubs took us out for sushi. And he said this is a celebration of that. So if you can get somebody else in your life to be like, hey, you need to do something because you just finished that, that helps a lot. Because otherwise I just don't do anything.
My hubby takes me to get a coffee.
Yeah, there you go. I think he also like buys me little things here and there, like off of Amazon. I have a wish list on Amazon, and he buys stuff off of that. Or like the other day, after I published Dominant, he brought home a little miniature orchid and an African violet. So
Nice.
yeah, get somebody in your life that does stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or us. Tell us that you completed something and we will celebrate for you. With you.
Oh, we will happily celebrate with everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Writing them down. Just acknowledging them as wins most times, just like we sit and think about all the things we don't do, can't do, didn't do, should have done. I count the things I've done. Exactly. This is also why I like to-do lists, because just seeing how much you've checked off, and I keep my to-do lists, and I compile them all and save them with my yearly planner, just so I know I have a visual representation of the stuff that I did do instead of focusing on the stuff that I didn't do. Fears are so ridiculous sometimes, but definitely a driving factor. They seem to be their own rewards for me these days, baking or eating, walking. Yeah. What Eva said about the counting, dwelling on the right things. And you know what those little crock decorations are called? Gibbets. Gibbets.
I did not know that.
I didn't.
I didn't know that either.
Oh my gosh. Cat Paw says I write them down in my accountability journal, which has just writing things in it. It's like 10 years old now. Nice. The same book. That's impressive that it's the same book because
They're not the same. Like,
no, I have half started notebooks, like 20 of them. So because I go to write something down and I can't find the original one, so I start a new one, and yeah, this is a
And
reason
then you're
why.
like, then you've got another notebook, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Gruffalo author had more this past year. Let's see, she was beaten out by a different author for the highest sales, though. Just bare bones. Mel says I always spoil myself somehow, trying to get away from it being a food thing. So usually it'll be a spa day, setting some time to game, actually taking the time to read others' works. Yes, I like that. I wrote 4 books a year to start, but then stuff caught up to me, right? At this point, my socks are also outside the hamper.
To be fair, I only wear socks like 3 months out of the year. The rest of the time, I'm in sandals the rest of the year.
Yeah. I'm usually barefooted, so.
I'm in Colorado. I have socks. I'm fluffy socks. I have all seasons of socks.
Yeah, I spent 2 different times. I spent a month in Colorado in the summer and spring, and there were still times I was like, it's a little chilly out here. I'm going to put on some socks.
No.
Yeah, just because it's going to be 80 degrees that day does not mean it's not going to be 40 degrees that morning.
Exactly.
Let's see, but what about when those are already your strategies for coping with life? I think we've talked on this before, but don't have an answer. Yeah. I think it comes to a point as, for me, it's time and money to put into giving myself prizes for completing something. So if you're already gaming on a daily basis to help yourself wind down or to give yourself a moment, then can you still count that as a prize? I think so. I really do. Because you're having fun. There was a glance over my shoulder towards the laundry basket. Beside the hamper, next to the bed, next to the recliner, in the neighbor's yard. What? Look, I'm not responsible for the gnomes that took him out of the house. One of them looks as tidy things up instead of hiding them. The new artwork and the idea of redoing this series, adding in new scenes and cutscenes for Kickstarter is making me excited. Nice.
I love the new cover art.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's amazing.
They're really good. Mel says, not sure. I'm pretty simple these days. Don't really go out much and happy doing simple things. The less I need to go out, the better. Yeah. You should give it a listen by a beautiful woman's vocal, bluegrassy type voice about domestic other abuse and singing it back. We have a sump pump in our basement in California because of how the hill drains. Yeah. Always a drought. Yeah. Always a flood somehow. Yeah. Yeah. Basement is more than just a house in the hill. If you're in the backyard, it looks like the ground floor of a 2-story house. Only flooding came from inside the house.
Yeah, my sister's house in Missouri is that way too. They've got a walkout basement.
There's a lot of walkout basements in the mountains just because of the way everything slopes and comes out.
Yeah.
Eva says, I want my son to celebrate his wins. And so I did do a video when I opened my first book. There was a lot of talking and being congratulated and stuff. Yes. Me and the hubs go out to celebrate each other's finishing. Nice. I like that special buzz of celebrating when I think of when you mention talking and congratulating. Yeah. My husband embarrasses me by mentioning my books and poems to anyone who gives him the tiniest of hope. Yeah. My husband does the same thing. It's weird. I told him that he has to come to all of the whenever I start doing festivals and book signings and everything, he has to come with me so that he can be the mouth and I can just, sit there behind him. Yes. Good husband. Give high fives all around here. Yeah. It's sometimes it is, yeah. Other times it's like, what the heck do I do with these? Because my planner has no more pockets. Saruman. Eva says, I suck so bad at tracking. I wish I could track what I did do. I think that's what content creation is for me at the moment. Another attempt at tracking. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many socks too.
Yeah, those of us who live in cool climates, we keep socks.
Yeah.
That was something like when we lived in South Texas, I had a drawer of socks that just stayed. Socks that just stayed in the drawer. And yeah, in Colorado, I empty and refill the sock drawer every week.
No. Oh, cat. Yes. So I can't stand walking on cat litter. I don't know barefoot. If I'm in shoes, I'm fine. If I'm in socks, yeah. But barefoot, nope.
There's a reason I'm constantly sweeping the floor. There's a reason. Also, Cohosts, Agent Mayhem's gigantic paws just bring in so much dirt.
Yep.
And then he'll do this thing where he'll like go out in the yard and then he'll look at me and then he'll just roll around. And I'm like, why are you doing that? And I know it's because he wants me to put him in the bathtub so he can like pretend to swim. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with that.
At least your dog likes water. This one.
He's 160 pounds. It's like washing a cow.
Dog's water bowl helps me remind me not to just be in socks. White socks are awful. Yes. I put pee pads underneath Kona's water bowl in the bedroom because that's the only one that she really like splashes out of. The other two she's fine with.
I have shower mats that go underneath the dog water dishes because Agent's face leaks. And then we have Indigo, that's the rescue Roddy, and her face leaks. And one of the cats will sit there and just like flip the water out of the bowl just because he's a butthead.
Yep.
Our cat insists on having ice cubes in her water. Like when we go get like ice out of the fridge, she'll like get up on the table and wait for us to bring 2 to 3 ice cubes, and then she'll like paw at the ice cube in the water, and then she'll scoop water out to lick it out of her paw. She won't like put her face in the water. She'll scoop it out, which she's a weird one, that cat. Fine.
He's watering because it's underfoot in the kitchen. Yeah, I get this. I don't know how many times I have stepped in this water bowl because I'm reaching for a book and I don't pay attention. Yeah, it's lovely. Love it. I'm getting my feet wet. Yeah, it's in the way. A mat would just be a thing I stepped on so the water would still get on my socks. Understandable.
Yeah, they're washable. So yeah,
it's fine. And you can always change them out once you get them wet. You can just change them out. It's fine. Yeah. All right. Rach, are you streaming today at 12:30? I didn't see it on the.
Rachel's not. I know she said earlier she wasn't feeling well today.
Right. Just wanted to make sure because if you are, I'll pop the link in the chat. I don't think you are though. Let's see. Our water isn't currently drinkable either, not for humans or animals, because 2025 wasn't done with us. Yeah, that sucks. It's like how the cooks in the South say when they're proud of their cooking. I put my foot in it. I never got that. That was one of the things that I've never said. Just because I'm like, that's just gross. Kempa says, I hardly ever wear socks. I have weird feet. They're always hot, and too hot flips me out, literally. Short circuits my brain and has a meltdown. I understand that. I really do. Okay, you're not streaming there. Still at Daggers with Water Utility. Been thinking of you. Hope there's movement faster. Yes.
I hope that they can get that dealt with. That it's just.
Yeah.
I understand infrastructure is old, but there's certain things that people need.
Have fun touching grass, Eva. I'll probably see you in the chats later on. I read that as I am not steaming today.
Go.
Hey, cat. It's okay. You can watch the replay or just catch us next time. It's all good. The stereo snores, Conan and JoJo. And all the snuffles. Alright. So, we have been
Agent
here.
says hello. You want outside? Yes?
Yeah.
Everybody wants outside.
Alright.
I have been summoned by the Canine Nation.
Okay. You want to do your outro real quick and then we'll head out?
I'm Mama Maggie Ward, independent author, stroke survivor, migraine sufferer. I got the books. Check out my page. Check out my channel. So chaos is erupting here.
Oh, good. All right.
So, thank you for having me. It was a lovely chat today. Hi, Cat. Bye, Cat. I will see all of you probably around the tubes, and not for the rest of today. There's things and the things and all the things, but the rest of this week. So be blessed. Have a lovely week and happy Rough Jeff Challenge, November. Whatever Nomo Nano equivalent you are doing. Enjoy, be productive, and self-care is soul care. Take care of you.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. All right, Stephanie, you want to do your outro?
Yeah. Brain work. Okay. Thanks for hanging out with us. My name is Stephanie Whitson. I am an author of so far 8 small-town romance books, and I get the pleasure of talking about it next week at my local library, so that should be fun. And thanks for having me, Sam. And
Of course.
oh, I never know what to say.
You're fine. It's okay. Thank y'all for joining me. We will be right here next week at 11 a.m. Eastern Time for another episode of Breaking the Block. I think I have it set to where we're going to be talking about holidays and creativity. But it should be in the title. And yeah, find all the books, all the websites, everything linked down below. And we will see y'all next time.